Let's budget my paycheck as a 40-something-year-old corporate girly that would like to retire in 8 years but has no retirement savings. Is $95,000 in debt, $85,000 of that is student loan debt, and $10,000 is in credit card debt that I'd like to pay off by the end of this year, but I don't know how to do that because I don't make enough money. We need to work on a new intro, y'all, because that intro is old. We are no longer trying to pay off our credit cards by the end of this year. We have switched. If you watched my last video, I want to say it was the very last one. Yes. We had some major updates. Just to recap all of that before we get into all the budgeting and stuff. Well, what I did is I did a balance transfer from my Truist credit card that is 10.4% interest to a Citi Double Cash credit card that is 18 months at 0% interest with a 3% balance transfer fee. I am currently still waiting on the balance to fully transfer. Apparently they do like a 2-week hold or something like that, so it won't happen for a couple more days because I'm filming this on Thanksgiving. Also, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I will be putting this video up today, and the balance transfer hold goes off on the 2nd of December. So we have a few more days until that happens and we have fully transferred everything over and paid off the Truist credit card. And then I have another Citi credit card, and that is a Citi Simplicity card, and that has 21 months of 0% interest, and we're about 6 or 7 months, 8 months, somewhere around there into that 21 months. So we still got plenty of time to pay off the credit cards. So what I'm doing right now is I'm kind of flipping my mindset for a few months to try to build up some more of my high yield savings account. I do keep like an emergency kind of like stash of funds in my checking account. One, so that way I won't ever like spend into the negative in my checking account. But two, in case I have to take my dog to the vet or a flat tire or something like that happens and I need money like right now today, I keep about $2,500 in my checking account just for that kind of stuff. And then I have my high yield savings account that I want to be like my emergency fund. Like if I lost my job, then this is the money that I would use to cover my expenses. We're starting off with about $4,500 in that account, and I want to build it up to $12,000. That's 3 months or 90 days of expenses that I will have in there. I would love to have 6 months to like a year of worth of saving in there, because I mean eventually I'm going to need a new car and stuff like that, and if I could try to pay most of that kind of stuff from cash, that would be great. I don't think if I had 6 months to a year, I don't know if I'd save it just for expenses, but I definitely want to have at least $12,000 in there for 90 days worth of expenses in case something crazy happens. So instead of putting $30 away each paycheck, which is what I was doing when I was focusing on paying off my credit cards, I was putting $30 each paycheck into my high yield savings account. Now we are just going to pay the minimums on our credit cards for the time being for the next few months and put $200 each paycheck into our high yield savings account. So that's roughly about $400 a month. I mean, occasionally, a few times a year, you know, I get paid bi-weekly because I'm salary employee, so there might be $600 in it 1 month here and there, but for the most part, $400 a month. I am considering putting also my YouTube money into that account, or maybe switching it to a very separate account just for like business purposes. I'm thinking about separating that off into like maybe like a Marcus account where I can use it as a checking account, but it's a high yield savings account. I haven't really looked into it. Right now, that money's just going into my checking account, and I've been using it to help me pay off my credit cards, but I need to start focusing on having some of that money tucked away for taxes. So that's what we're doing with that currently until 2025. Then we'll start putting more of our YouTube money onto our credit cards or into our high yield savings account. We're gonna think about what we want to do right now, but for now, this is the game plan. Currently, my high yield savings account has an interest rate of 4.65%. So I built out a template that will show me the roadmap to getting $12,000 into my high yield savings account and how long it will take me if I continue just to put my $200 each pay period away and put minimum money onto my credit cards. And we're starting with that $200 each paycheck this month. I mean, December. Since I'm filming this on Thanksgiving, it's technically still November. We're starting that with our paycheck, which is our November 28th paycheck. I'll get paid tomorrow, which I'll have to use to pay for my rent and stuff. So I'm considering that my first paycheck for December, even though I technically got it in November. And $200 of that will go straight into a high yield savings account. So now that I've built out this template, which is my roadmap to saving up $12K, if I start in December, it is going to take me all the way until November 2025 if I just contribute $400 a month. That's kind of sad. I think what we will have to do is take a break and pause the savings at $200 a paycheck at some point so that way we can pay off our credit cards, because it is my ultimate goal to have my credit cards paid off within the 0% interest period. I am not slacking on that. We will be doing that. Okay? That is my utmost priority to make sure that those are paid off. So I'm thinking if we can do like 90 days of doing the $200 a paycheck, and then we will revisit December, January, February. At the end of February, we will revisit and we'll have to bump that back down and start putting more money on our credit cards. And once we pay them off, we can go back to this plan. We could actually probably put more like $600 a month away to our high yield savings account, Lord willing. And who knows, we might get a fat tax return. I don't think so, but you know, crazier things have happened. If we get a fat tax return, that will be going straight to paying off the credit cards, because I want to pay them off ASAP. Okay, let's get into budgeting my paycheck now that we've discussed the high yield savings account, and we will be revisiting that I think once or twice a month. We'll go into that. We'll go into the details of how much is in there. Obviously, if the interest rates change, like, I'll be updating you guys and updating the template on that. But I'm really excited, and I'm keeping that template as in each one of my monthly budgets, so that way I can just kind of keep seeing it and keep seeing the money going in there and just like get a little bit happier, get a little bit giddy about something, because money is somewhat of a boring topic, I guess, unless you're talking about being rich and buying crazy things like jewelry and furs and houses and cars, and we can't do that. We're living paycheck to paycheck over here. Okay, before we start getting into the budget, I am 42 years old. I live in the Tampa Bay area. I'm an empty nester, which means both of my girls have grown and gone and left the nest. I am a grandma. One of my daughters had a grandbaby earlier this year. He is 4 months old now. Ah! He's such a squishy little baby. I love him. And I have a cute doggy. I have a French bulldog. I am a salary employee. I get paid about $75,000 a year prior to taxes. I paid off my car last year. I think that is all. Let's get into budgeting my paycheck. Okay, so we were able to bring over some money from November. At the end of November, we were left with $629.35. So we're adding that to our income, even though we didn't actually earn any extra money. It's just money that we have set aside. And we're now doing this because we are having $200 taken out of each paycheck, and that really hurts the first of the month paycheck when I have rent and stuff like that due. So we're trying to be really diligent about saving some money from the last paycheck in the month prior, so that way we can have a little bit of cushion and not feel so crazy. So we brought over $629.35 after tax. After the $200 is taken out and gone into my high yield savings account, I am bringing home from my job bi-weekly $1,953.18. I was able to cash out on my Amazon storefront for $14.27. I will get paid from YouTube, but we'll include that in the second half of December, because that doesn't hit until like the 20th or the 21st, somewhere around there. So I am bringing home total not bringing home. I'm including November, my bi-weekly paycheck, and my social media income, which is my Amazon storefront money. So in total to spend for this period, we have $2,596.80, and that's how much we have for the next 2 weeks to get us by. I think it is enough, hopefully. We have to budget $25 for our cell phone bill. My dog's food and her treats and stuff was $91.45. We get our food from Chewy because she is on a special diet. She has to eat the hydrolyzed protein food. So we get Royal Canin hydrolyzed protein, French Bulldog, adult dog food. I don't know. I know, it's a lot. But it's what keeps her going because she has such bad allergies, which is something else we're going to talk about in this budget. Rent, $1,613.76. Groceries, we always budget $240 for the next 2 weeks for groceries. Gas, we always budget $100 for the next 2 weeks for gas. Scout, I think I'm going to have to take her to her vet and get her... I cannot remember. It is escaping my mind right now, but I know you guys will remind me in the comments because you guys are so amazing like that. But I need to get her like one of those allergy shots. I want to say Apoquel, but it's not Apoquel. She has to get an allergy shot every so often, and I think it's time. And I honestly think that we need to put her on a schedule, and by we, I mean me, because I'm the one that's going to be driving her, paying for it and doing all of that. But I think it's time to put her on a schedule of like every other month, because it's just so bad. It's getting worse and worse as she's gotten older. I love you. She actually just got done eating food and she's got a very messy mouth over here. But it's getting worse as she's gotten older, and I think it's time that we try to put her on a schedule of like once every 90 days, once every other month. I'm just going to ask the vet what they recommend, but it's Thanksgiving, so I'm going to call tomorrow and see if we can either get her in tomorrow or Saturday. I think they're open on Sunday. I want to say my vet is open 7 days a week. So I'm going to try to get her in one of these days this weekend to get her shot. And that runs about $100 something to $200. So I budgeted $200 for Scout's vet visit. And then I put in $75 in miscellaneous because I am taking tomorrow off. So I have a 4-day weekend. I want to hang out with my grandson. My daughter's fiance is working tomorrow at some point. He has to go to work. So I was asking my daughter if she want to hang out and like take the baby to the aquarium or something like that. I'm sure we could get like a day, like maybe the rates to get into the aquarium are a little bit cheaper during the week. I don't know what she wants to do, but I'm setting some money aside for that. We may end up just taking some clothes back to Once Upon a Child that she's been wanting to do and stuff like that, and hanging out at home. But I wanted to make sure that we had some time to have a special moment. So all in all the expenses combined, that is $2,345.21. Wow, that's a lot of money. I just double checked that because I was like, that seems like crazy. So after we take the $2,596.80 of income and take away the expenses of $2,345.21, we're left with $251.59 until next paycheck. And I went ahead and took the liberty of taking my full amount of money that's in my bank account. That's my paycheck plus the cushion that I have, plus just a little bit of emergency savings that I have. So currently what's in my bank account is $4,556.95. And if I take my expenses minus that, or that amount that's in my bank account minus the expenses, I cannot talk. I am left with $2,211.74, and that's roughly about the amount I like to keep into my like emergency savings. Anywhere from like, at the lowest, I'm comfortable with $1,500, but I get a little like anxious when it gets down below $2,000. I do. I plan on editing this video in my bed and chilling out for the rest of the day. I do have a little bit of chores to do. I need to do some laundry. I want to shoot the question vlog that I said is going up on December 1st. So if you have more questions, please leave them in the comments. Also, something else that's very exciting, and I haven't talked about it yet, I have started to upload these videos onto Spotify because I feel like they're kind of like a podcast form where I'm sitting and talking to the camera, my phone. So I've just like, why not upload them to Spotify and see what happens? So if you miss this episode of how we're budgeting our paycheck, then you can catch it on Spotify, and I will link the channel down below in the description of this video if you want to go and check it out. If you want to go and support your girl. I don't know what other kind of things I'm going to put over there. I always imagine having a podcast with my daughters. Like, I think it would be so much fun. Like, for one, they are hilarious, both of my daughters. Two, they love to roast me, so we could literally have a podcast about roasting. But I think the dynamic of me and plus my two daughters would be so much fun on a podcast, and we can answer questions and talk about our life and talk about what it was like to be daughters of a teen mom and all kinds of things. So I would like to turn that channel into like a podcast channel, but your girl is broke and I'm living paycheck to paycheck, and that kind of stuff takes a little bit of money to have like the camera set up and everything. So that will be down the line, but that's like my ultimate goal. I don't know if both my daughters would be in like swimwear to the idea. I've always kind of chatted about it, and I think they honestly take me posting to social media as a joke, but they don't say anything. Like, they're very nice about it, but I honestly think like they don't truly believe that I could make something happen from this. So I'm here to prove them wrong, but also it would be nice if I got to a place where I could afford to help them out. And I think the podcast would be extra revenue for them and help them, especially my oldest, now that she's a mom and has a baby and all of that. Like, can never make enough money. And they're living paycheck to paycheck right now. So I think that would be something fun, and it would be a bonding experience. Alright, I'm done yapping your ears off on this Thanksgiving Day. Go enjoy your turkey and that cranberry sauce. Personally, my favorite side is the mac and cheese and the stuffing. Dressing? We call it dressing. Do you call it stuffing? Do you call it dressing? We don't stuff ours in the turkey, and my mom makes dressing from scratch. It's cornbread dressing. She makes everything from scratch. It's so savory and delicious, and I'm kind of sad I'm missing that. That's one of my favorite dishes. Okay, I love you. Let me know what your favorite dish is in the comment section, and I will talk to you later. Bye.